Orlando Magic in the Frost Bank Center. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock as CP3 and Victor Wembanyama are scheduled to play. According to Pop, get 20 minutes out of Vic tonight. The Cowboys have made some moves. They put Marshawn Kneeland on the injured reserve. They took Deron Bland off the injured reserve. And they signed defensive end Carl Lawson to the active roster.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't think.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate you joining, however you may be joining, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial. If you're listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player at sasportstar.com, or if you're one of the many that watch via our YouTube stream. We stream everything live on YouTube, the Morning Huddle, the Blitz, and right here on Extra Innings with Pledge. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along, or feel free to call into the show at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Remember that number coming up a little bit later in the show. I've got a pair of tickets to give away to go see the SA Beer Festival, October 19th out at Crockett Park. Stay tuned. We'll be giving those away a little bit later in the show. SA Beer Festival. Great time. Love going out there to Crockett Park for that event. But it has been a very long day as we talk about what's been going on in the NFL with the first firing of our head coach as Robert Saleh has been shown the door in New York. And earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, both Rob and AJ were talking about what has gone on and trying to connect dots.
I was reading that Robert Saleh was considering firing Nathaniel Hackett before he got fired himself. Like he was in his office writing up a speech to give Nathaniel Hackett, and then Woody Johnson came in and said, "Hey, beat it," and then had armed security walk him out without talking to anybody on his way out the door is apparently what happened.
Well, it is telling that Hackett didn't get the job.
Well, he's an incompetent boob.
But you wonder, okay, so where does the Johnson family find themselves? Because they fired Saleh, who was, I don't know how he was getting along with Aaron. I don't think he was. And he wasn't getting along with his OC. So I know that had to be an issue. But Johnson didn't give Hackett the job. And what I'm hearing today is that Hackett will probably be reassigned, that the passing coordinator will probably take over play calling, and Hackett, while he won't be fired, will still be in the building, but
he'll be the QB coach or something
like that, will be reassigned. So you figure that's not going to be Aaron's first choice.
No.
So
Aaron
now
wants to work with his guy.
I really fired
think
Saleh to make Aaron happy, but you didn't even make Aaron happy.
I think Aaron is one of these dudes who, and I give credit to guys like this, I think he's just loyal to his guys. And I think Aaron Rodgers realizes that, like, Nathaniel Hackett's not going to be the difference between me succeeding or failing. It's one of those, like, it's almost, I think Aaron Rodgers has almost reached that Peyton Manning level where, yes,
he's willing to just hand the ball off and win.
No, you have a coordinator who technically could call a play, but he's probably not. Like, Aaron Rodgers is probably the final decider of what happens.
Well, I wonder when this began, because obviously Saleh and Rodgers didn't get along. I mean, that's not new.
Yeah.
And I heard yesterday that there was a meeting after the Bronco game that Woody and his brother Chris went and met with Saleh and said, we got to fix this. How you going to fix it? Yada, yada, yada. They promptly get on a plane, fly to London, and get their ass kicked. And, he's fired basically very soon thereafter. So they're not shaking things up other than the defensive guys taking over for a defensive coach. Hackett gets moved for the quarterback coach. And then Aaron is what? Better?
I don't know.
Younger?
It's basically the Jets doubling down on Aaron Rodgers, though, is what it is. And I think it's a big mistake.
Run the football. Run the football.
I'm going to say something right now that's going to sound silly, but I think it's true. I think the Jets just fired the most competent football coach on their team. Like, he was the guy who probably was the best at actually coaching football, but because he didn't get along with Aaron Rodgers, he's gone. Yet Nathaniel Hackett still exists. That tells me that, and Woody Johnson can come out and say all he wants, well, this was my decision and my decision alone.
Well,
but your decision then is to just, suck the teat of Aaron Rodgers and do what he asks you to do.
Minus Aaron Rodgers and all the turmoil that goes along with it. Saleh's the worst coach in Jets history. In the first 40 games, he's 20-36. That's 35% winning percentage. That's worse than Todd Bowles or Bruce Coslett in the first 40 games out there. And it's a cavalcade of bad teams. They're the third worst team since 2021. They have gotten no better, and they would have every right to fire him today if he was getting along with his quarterback. So I get the firing, but if you're going to do that, interim is not the thing. It's you're so early in the season. Interim is going to be only from within. Once you do this now, you can't promote from without. You got to go from within, and your best guy is your defensive coordinator, the guy from your defense. It just seems like, okay, you're trying to fix the thing with the wrong tool. This isn't going to help you.
I'm not going to sit here and say the numbers are the numbers. You either win or you lose in the NFL. I get that. It's very, very important to consider this when you talk about Robert Saleh and how he's done as a head coach. Since 2021, he has had 33 starts from Zach Wilson, 7 starts from Mike White, 5 starts from Joe Flacco, 3 from Trevor Siemian, 2 from Tim Boyle, and 6 from the corpse of Aaron Rodgers. I don't know a man on earth who would win with that.
But you think, while he didn't buy the groceries, I think he had a role in what groceries came in. At some point, after 2 or 3 of those quarterbacks, I think Zach was his choice, man. I do think Zach was all him.
All I know is he's a defensive coach, and in the last 4 years since he's been there, defense isn't why the Jets have been losing football games. The Jets have had a top 5 defense in the last 4 years. In the Saleh era, they've been a top 5 to 10 defense.
So when you hired him, though, and I like him. I think he was a steadying force, but they haven't made the playoffs since 2010.
No.
So they hired him. They said, "What's your plan?" Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm a defensive coach, but I'm going to add to offense. They haven't finished in the top 10 in scoring offense since 2008. They haven't won a division title since 2002. He hadn't done anything. They were justified in firing him the week prior, and then to fire him now when your quarterback is obviously not what you thought it was going to be. Your offensive line is in shambles. There's a fix out there, but I'm not sure this is the fix.
The fix is getting a real offensive coordinator.
Yes. So
listen, again, I'm not trying to say like Robert Saleh, it's a travesty he was fired. But what I'm saying is, do you think Robert Saleh picked Nathaniel Hackett to be the OC?
But when you fire him now, you're not going to get an offensive coordinator from any place else because they know I'm not going to make it through the year. I'm going to get fired because what I have to work with ain't enough. So you're not going to be able to bring anybody to fix your offense. You got to hire within. You can't hire the immediate hire because he's the problem, but I can't fire him because the problem's best friend is my quarterback. So I got to bring in another dude who is not ready, or he would have already been doing it as the quarterback play caller. Yeah, I get the firing, but this isn't going to improve your lot. They're not going. They might come out next week fired up and play a little bit harder, but in the long term, the Jets aren't going to be any better with Ulbrich being their coach.
That was the morning huddle discussing the firing of Robert Saleh. And, the great thing is Aaron Rodgers came on Pat McAfee later in that afternoon and made sure that everybody knew from the listening audience and outward that he denied all accusations of he was the reason that Robert Saleh was fired.
As far as any of the ridiculous allegations out there, I'm not going to spend more than one sentence in response to it, and that is that I resent any of those accusations because they're patently false. And it's interesting the amount of power that people think that I have, which I don't. But I love Robert, and it was, one of those days yesterday.
Aaron Rodgers saying he had nothing to do with it. And I thought Jason had a really good point on the Blitz earlier today is like the reason he was escorted out. That was really weird. Why was it? Could it be they got into a shouting match, both Woody Johnson and Robert Saleh, and that was the antithesis behind his firing and why he was escorted off the premises, because he just ended up getting into it with the owner. Quite possibly. It's there are a lot of weird things that happened over the course of this period. And Aaron Rodgers seemingly says, this does not include me. Hunter Hitch saying he lost me at ridiculous accusations. Joshua Jimenez saying D'Amico should probably pick up the phone and call Saleh to bring him onto the staff. Maybe, but you're working with something right now, so you gotta allow that thing to play out the way it is. The defense is getting better. Frank Mateo, thank you. Loving the fit today. Hey, it is 8:13 and OU still sucks. And speaking of the fact that OU still sucks, Bob Ballou of KI Television joined the Blitz earlier today to discuss that certain game up there by the Red River in Dallas, and whether it should be Archer Quinn Ewers under center when it happens. We'll bring that to you next right here. Plus, stay tuned. Remember, I've got a pair of tickets to go to the San Antonio Beer Festival at Crockett Park coming up October the 19th. So don't go anywhere. We'll be giving those away a little bit later in the show. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s. If you're feeling a loss of energy and drive, it could be low T. The answer is simple. Get checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Don't put it off. Not all TRT is the same. At Synergenics, you'll get a personally optimized TRT treatment plan from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy. You can also be evaluated for treatment with GLP-1 weight loss medication. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Attention active duty military and veterans. This is an important message from Lakewood University. Lakewood University is now offering an online real estate management certificate program for active duty military members and veterans. Qualifying students can graduate with zero college debt using their GI Bill benefits. Real estate is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, just as big as healthcare and legal services. With Lakewood's real estate management certificate, you'll gain all the skills needed to succeed in real estate investing. Learn how to analyze markets, value assets, and raise capital through debt and equity financing. Lakewood University has teamed up with a real estate multimillionaire to bring you this special accredited online course. And as a qualifying service member, you can graduate debt-free. If you're active duty or a veteran looking for a rewarding career path, call Lakewood University today at 800-571-4889. That's 800-571-4889. Take the next step toward your future. Call 800-571-4889 or fundsformilitary.com.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let our professional parts people test your battery for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's your chance to own Texas coastal property for your vacations and rental income. Hi, this is Jason with Eden Development. We're excited to invite you to our exclusive one-day land sale Saturday, October 19th to discover luxury RV sites starting at $59,900. Tiny homes with a site, turnkey ready to rent, or enjoy for only $149,900. These exclusive properties offer resort-style pool, lazy river, community clubhouse, fishing pier, boat storage, private lake access, pickleball courts, and much more. Located minutes from the stunning beaches of Rockport and Port Aransas, these sites are perfect for family vacations or as a rental investment. This land sale is one day only, Saturday, October 19th, by appointment only. Call now, 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380. Excellent financing options. Call now to schedule your private showing. 361-520-2380. That's 361-520-2380.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate y'all riding along with me tonight. Take you till 7 o'clock, and then Cowboys Crosstalk will take the airwaves from there. It's a big weekend for college football, and it's a big weekend for me in particular because one of my favorite atmospheres, games, period, that I've ever been to in my entire life, Texas OU, is this weekend. And growing up a Longhorn fan and just the pageantry, the uniqueness, the stage that it is on, Texas OU is unlike any other game that I've ever been to in my life. And I understand why Quinn Ewers wants to be back in time for that game, especially growing up a Longhorn fan. I understand what it means to both sides and why, Peter Gardere can upset a nationally ranked team 4 times in a row when Texas shouldn't have won those games. They were the underdog in all 4. I understand what, that game brings in terms of the rivalry and everything else. And the Longhorns have 2 of those games every year again. They've got that one and they've got A&M at the end of the year. But the uniqueness of this one sets it apart, being on the fairgrounds at the Texas State Fair with the split right down the middle between the crimson and the burnt orange, and how you're playing basically a home game and a road game in the same venue, depending which side of the field you're on. And momentum is very real in those games. It's by far the best sporting event that I have ever been to. And Bob Ballou of KI Television joined the Blitz earlier today with Jason and Joe, and they were talking about that game. And as we lead into it, we're hearing reports that Quinn Ewers is likely going to return in time for this game, and what it means, especially even if he's healthy, Quinn Ewers should be starting that game over Arch Manning.
I don't mean to bring the house down here, but I'm looking on CBSSports.com, and the headline is this: Quinn Ewers reclaims starting role for number 1 Texas, but is benching Arch Manning the right move?
Oh my gosh.
How do you respond to that, Bob Ballou?
How is that what we're doing?
I'm just saying, it's on CBSSports.com right now.
He used Joe Reinagle.
Oh, good Lord. I don't even know how to respond. Okay.
As
so
the Quinn Ewers apologist, can you please respond?
Well, let me just I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go about this. Texas has not announced that Quinn Ewers is going to start. Quinn Ewers is going to start. I think we're fine saying that now. Like Sark said Monday, if the game was today, Quinn's going to start. That has not been like we thought. We even talked about this when Quinn got hurt. We said if the next 2 weeks Arch Manning throws for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns a game, how hard is it going to be for him to take him out? And I think there was a long time there was a thought of, if Quinn gets hurt, this is Arch's job and he's not giving it back. Listen, this is Quinn Ewers' job. There was never a doubt that he was going to start this week in terms of if he was healthy. And everybody knows that, and everybody's fine with it in the Texas locker room. This isn't like this is an embattled quarterback that he's having to make a decision on. They truly believe that Quinn Ewers can still win the Heisman Trophy, that he can lead them to an SEC championship, that he can lead them to a national championship. There's nothing on that side of it that says they don't believe that. Now, look, if Quinn struggles, if there are issues, if that stuff happens, okay, maybe we start having the conversation. But that's not even like I don't think that stuff's even on Sark's radar right now. This is Quinn Ewers' team. Quinn's going to start. And to answer the question that they ask, yes, benching Arch Manning is the right move. And I'll tell you the biggest reason it's the right move. Because if Quinn struggles, you can go back to Arch. This isn't like Arch expected to start. So no, there's no controversy here. Like I've said, this is the first time in probably the history of Texas football when it comes to quarterbacks, but certainly in the last 25, 30 years of having quarterback controversies damn near every year. This is not a controversy. Everybody knows on that team that Quinn Ewers is the starter. Everybody knows Arch Manning. Maybe there is. I see in the headline says maybe Arch has more upside. Maybe he does. We don't know yet. But what we know is this is Quinn Ewers' team. Sark has called this Quinn Ewers' team. And until Quinn doesn't perform in a manner that makes it that's the case, I don't even think that conversation is broached. And I think that's a good thing. I think having that quarterback room where it is right now is amazing. And I think that's the opposite of what it's been forever. Is there going to be division? Are the guys going to want one guy over the other or whatever? I think this is the first time they can actually say we trust in both quarterbacks and we're good with either one going in the game, and we believe in whoever it is. But they believe in Quinn Ewers, and like I said, Sark said this is Quinn Ewers' team, and until Quinn does something in game or games that changes that, it is his team. Now, again, I think I've said this every time we've talked about this. Sark was there and watched Nick Saban pull Jalen Hurts at the half in the national championship game and put Tua Tagovailoa in, and they won the national championship because of it. That's always on the table. But for right now, this is Quinn Ewers' team.
Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin joining us here on the Blitz as we talk about the controversy that isn't.
It was CBS Sports. It wasn't me.
Has Quinn talked this week? I haven't seen anything, so maybe he hasn't. But how much does to say he wants to play? But he did lose last year's game, or he was the quarterback of record when the defense failed miserably late in that game. How much is Quinn eyeing just to get back so he can say he beat Oklahoma?
Well, remember, Quinn Ewers beat Oklahoma 49-0 2 years ago. So he does have that on his record, too. Also, Quinn Ewers missed 2 games last year, which means Quinn Ewers went 10-2 as the starter at Texas last year, won a Big 12 championship, guided them to the playoff, played really well in the national or in the semifinal. So I don't think yes, to your point, yes, 100%. In my mind, there was no way Quinn Ewers was going to miss this game. Like when he went down and the oblique, and they were like, yeah, I mean, he's hurting. We'll see how he feels, all those kind of things. In my mind, there was a 0% chance he was going to miss the Oklahoma game. And if that meant he sat out Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State, so be it. I think he's done everything. They're going about the process the right way. They're going about the physical side of it the right way. But all of those things, Quinn Ewers was not going to miss this game, especially after the way he played early last year. He came back and played well, but he had the 2 interceptions early, fumbled, had the 3 turnovers. Like, for a guy that is very level, I think he wants this one. Growing up a Longhorns fan, all of those things, Quinn wants this one. And I think last year certainly has something to do with it as well.
That was Bob Ballou of KI Television joining the Blitz earlier this afternoon. You can catch that full interview in our audio vault at sasportstar.com. It is powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. And, man, it's going to be a fantastic weekend, a fantastic game. Stoked, no better place to go catch that out than the Roo Pub. They are the Texas Longhorns watch party. So make sure to get out there if you're going to be watching that this afternoon, this Saturday. Going to be a great time out at the Roo Pub. It's usually where I go check out the Longhorn games. San Antonio Beer Festival is coming to Crockett Park on October the 19th. If you want to win a pair of tickets to go to the San Antonio Beer Festival, be caller number 5 right now at 210-656-ESPN. That is 210-656-3776, and you'll get yourself a pair of tickets to go to the San Antonio Beer Festival coming up October the 19th out at Crockett Park. Coming back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure, we go back to the morning huddle as Jerry, CD, the sideline blow up, all that came with it. What did Rob and AJ think about what Jerry had to say about it? We'll discuss next, coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
If you know Tecovas, you know we make some of the best and most comfortable cowboy boots around. But what you might not know is that a new Tecovas store is now open at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, Western apparel, and accessories for men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Come see us at 5300 Broadway and let us help you find your new favorite pair of boots. Tecovas, don't go gently.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 36 months, or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the Hill Country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight as we take you up to 7 o'clock. Congratulations to Mike Estrada, who won the San Antonio Beer Festival tickets. Be sure to stay tuned all week long for your chance to win some tickets to the San Antonio Beer Festival, October 19th, out at Crockett Park down in San Antonio. Dallas Cowboys have a big game coming up against the Detroit Lions. The defense has looked much improved over the past couple of weeks. The offense seemingly getting its footing, but there seems to be, at least much like early last year, even though they're ahead of pace of last year, Dak and CD aren't seemingly on the exact same page. And we've seen it in a couple of different sideline blowups. We saw it against the 49ers last season before they figured things out and got things back on track. But Jerry Jones was talking about that blowup and other things yesterday on 105.3 The Fan and his presser that he held for the F1 race that they're getting up there around Jerry World in Arlington. And the morning huddle was discussing Jerry and his comments and how he perceives the sideline interactions between his quarterback and wide receiver one.
With all the news and all the talk about the Jets, Jerry's going to have to do something to get himself back in the news cycle.
I know.
He's going to have to make a move.
I know.
He's been trumped.
If the Jets are passing you up,
I know you're going to have
real
to do
issues.
Jerry, telling us
real
your
issues.
left tackle's iffy.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me some news,
Yeah,
Jerry.
man, break something.
Well, speaking of Jerry, did you before we get into Jerry, did you see the Tropicana got imploded this morning?
I haven't seen the video.
They did like a full-blown fireworks show, and Bally's and the Oakland A's did like and basically the whole video is a commercial for MGM Grand and the Sphere, which is like
right behind
the
it.
entire background.
So there was a movie being filmed at some point around it.
Oh, it had to be.
So at least one or two. So they had the backdrop going off right then.
But
I've never seen a building implosion.
The Trop is like one of the OG mob run casinos. Trop, and I think the last one left of like the seven. I think there was 7 or 8 casinos that were basically mob controlled casinos.
The Sands, Aladdin, the Trop.
The only one remaining, I think, is Flamingo. And Flamingo is still standing, and I don't know why it's still standing.
Well,
it's right across the street from Caesars, which makes it look like it doesn't fit in because like all the other casinos there are new. Like the Cromwell is right there, a big fancy new hotel, and then there's the Flamingo, which is a dump, but something's keeping it afloat.
Fredo was working there at the way back when.
Must have been.
I was going to say what he was doing, but I forgot.
Oh yeah, I forgot to. But yeah, the Tropicana, R.I.P. Jared Jones was on the Fan, 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, Texas yesterday, and the first thing they asked him about was his feelings during the final drive. And the feelings when Dak got the job done.
I know that I was very disappointed when we took the ball back, handed it to the running back 4 yards back behind the line of scrimmage and got stopped. We were right up there with the foot to go, and so I wanted to sneak that thing in, Philadelphia style, push the quarterback in, if you will. But other than that, it was great to see Dak have that great play under those kind of circumstances, that kind of pressure, made up for what we some of the things that he was being criticized earlier in the game.
First of all, I don't think Jerry really wants Dak to be Philadelphia style shoved into the end zone. I don't know if Jerry forgot the check that he just wrote that guy who's got a bummy ankle.
I just get the sense Schottenheimer heard that went, whoo, thank God I scored. I was going to have to sit in front of the man. I'd have gotten fined for something.
I don't expect to see an uptick in Dak's quarterback sneak usage or running usage.
No, that was an odd thing to say.
It was.
That was a very strange. You almost
I don't
threw your
like
OC
handing it
under
to
the
that
bus.
running back.
That other play they called was stupid, but other than that.
Which, by the way, it took like an amazing play to stop Dowdle from getting that. That's a touchdown 9 times out of 10. That was a miracle defensive play that stopped him.
And Dak got hit harder on the fumble than he would have if he'd have snuck.
Yeah, they might want to watch out for Dak's leg.
That first play was stupid. All right, Jerry, thanks.
I didn't like it. My dummy head coach letting dummy plays get called.
Thank God.
They're letting them do dummy things. Next, they asked him about the altercation on the sidelines, and like I think they were wanting a State of the Union on Dak and CD, which I think we're all kind of curious about.
So backdrop. This is the good ball number 4. That's the one we're talking about, where CD looked over at Dak when Dak was staring at the surface, and he told his quarterback, "Hey, that was a good ball number 4," right after the interception.
I think so.
Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah.
All right.
That's the beauty of television. That's the beauty of the way we present these games in the NFL, the way it works on the sideline. But, man, I've never been around a sideline, but what you didn't have some jawing going back and forth between players, coaches, all the people involved in the game. It's a physical game. It's a game where each one's relying on the other. And you certainly have it going back and forth. The other thing, sometimes it looks like that there's some expression going on that's not necessarily one that is easily interpreted. You can have some pretty serious looks out there, and you can't tell what they might be saying. They may be saying, "I love you."
I love you, Dak. That's what I was really saying. Hey, I just sent you a message on our Surface. Can you read it? It says, "I love you." It says,
"Is that what that says?"
And then it's got emoji with heart eyes.
Yeah, that's what that means. I had no idea. I thought that meant something entirely different.
Yeah, love you. What a guy.
Hey, man, this is, of all the things that you want to pick on a team for, this is not one of them. Trust me. People don't get along on sidelines.
No.
They don't get along in locker rooms. They don't get along in huddles. They don't get along in the tackle. People fight. They don't get along. I have no problem with a wide receiver telling his quarterback, "Hey, bro, that was a good ball." I mean, come on. You got to do better than that. That's part of any sport.
I mean, but I think people are always going to look for that drama, and they because they played it up so much this weekend in Buffalo, Houston, with the Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs thing, which it grossed me out that Stephon Diggs won. Like, he is such an ass, but you know, what are you going to do?
And
that was the morning huddle. Be sure to catch Rob and AJ every morning from 6 to 10 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. And look, I think they like each other. This is really the first prolonged sense I get at any strife between the two of them, and I think it's just because they're not on the same page, and that's gonna happen when CD wasn't at training camp or in the preseason and didn't show up until week 1, and now all of a sudden it's become a thing. It's gonna take them a sec to get on the same page, much like it did last year as they were learning a new offense together. So once it clicks, I think it's gonna click for the better. But I just love Jerry's answer, and it makes me wonder if he knew what Bo Nix did over the weekend in his post-game presser when cameras caught Sean Payton and Bo Nix going at it.
Bo, there was a very lively conversation with you and Sean Payton after that 45-yard incompletion there. What was going on there, and why were you so heated about it?
Yeah, well, he turned and looked at me and said, "I love you," and I turned and said, "I love you back."
If so, that is a great troll by Jerry Jones with that answer. Coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure, we go back to the Blitz. Jason and Joe, speaking of the Cowboys, we got word of some injury updates as they get ready for Detroit, plus what their opponent could look like. That's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice after being hit by an 18-wheeler. The experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Do you want to add more fun to watching NFL games? Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app or get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com and start playing the Pick'em game. Love playing Pick'em just about every game I play. Love winning money. You too can as well. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats like passing yards, rushing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, field goals made. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward. Signing up is easy. Just go to the mobile app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Before you fire up that grill, get into Tri-County Meat Market because that great meal starts with great meat. Locally owned and full service, Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. Steaks, beef ribs, pork ribs, their seasoned fajitas, chicken, poppers. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect. You can always take advantage of their Pick 5 special, and they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heebner, online at TriCountyMeat.com.
Attention active duty military and veterans. This is an important message from Lakewood University. Lakewood University is now offering an online real estate management certificate program for active duty military members and veterans. Qualifying students can graduate with zero college debt using their GI Bill benefits. Real estate is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, just as big as healthcare and legal services. With Lakewood's real estate management certificate, you'll gain all the skills needed to succeed in real estate investing. Learn how to analyze markets, value assets, and raise capital through debt and equity financing. Lakewood University has teamed up with a real estate multimillionaire to bring you this special accredited online course. And as a qualifying service member, you can graduate debt-free. If you're active duty or a veteran looking for a rewarding career path, call Lakewood University today at 800-571-4889. That's 800-571-4889. Take the next step toward your future. Call 800-571-4889 or fundsformilitary.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM. sasportstar.com. Appreciate everybody for rolling along tonight as we take you up to Cowboys Crosstalk coming up at the top of the hour. Daniel Bautista on our YouTube page asked me if I think Joe Mixon is playing this week and if Hutchison will take on a bigger role now that Collins is out. I'll start with Joe Mixon. He didn't practice again today. I think that hip drop tackle gave him, while they haven't identified it as such, it is at least playing out like it was a high ankle sprain of sorts, because I remember a couple of weeks ago, he did practice towards the end of the week, and we thought he may be back in time to play after sitting a week out. And he practiced towards the end of the week, then was shut down and has not practiced again since. So something tells me he tried to fight through it. It was high. He re-aggravated it, and it set him back. I don't think Joe Mixon's playing this week. I think they're going to let that thing get up to 100% before they even mess with it. As far as Xavier Hutchinson, you can make an argument for him. You can make an argument for Mechie. I lean Xavier Hutchinson just because of the snap count he got after Nico Collins went down against Buffalo. And it feels like there's a little bit of trust built up between Xavier and CJ Stroud. So part of me feels like he's not going to get Nico Collins' target share by any means. But I do think you will see an increase in Xavier Hutchinson's production, if that makes any sense. Also coming up here in just a few minutes, Spurs getting set to tip off with the Orlando Magic. And the great thing about that is we did learn that Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul will get to play tonight. About 20 minutes, according to Pop, for Victor Wembanyama, which, cool. I don't need him to play a lot. I just kind of want to see what it looks like, because I am very, very interested because all last year, the beginning of the year, imagine if Victor Wembanyama had a competent point guard. Well, not only does he have a competent one, he has one of the greatest to do it now. And his basketball IQ is off the hook. And you talk about the ability to get Wemby the ball in places where he can thrive. I'm excited to kind of see what those two look like together. And I'm also excited to see, especially with the 20-minute cap and no Trey Jones tonight, maybe some point guard minutes for Stephon Castle tonight. Those are going to be a couple of things that I am extremely interested in when it comes to tonight's Spurs game. And I think Julian Champagnie is going to be a big part of the Spurs moving forward. This is the first offseason that I can remember of being excited about seeing this team other than just the excitement of wanting to see Wemby last year. They actively made moves, getting Harrison Barnes, adding Chris Paul, that made this roster better than it was last season. And Victor Wembanyama was playing at a level that we can't even comprehend. He took the likes of Champagnie and Mamu and a bunch of also-rans on his back and won games against some of the West's elite down the stretch because he was playing at that kind of level, and he's only gotten better, as we saw in the Olympics. So having a competent point guard to pair with him, I'm very excited about what that may look like. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Call your loved ones, check on them. Never know what someone's going through in life. As always, we will see you tomorrow right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1. If you know Tecovas, you know we make some of the best and most comfortable cowboy boots around. But what you might not know is that a new Tecovas store is now open at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy